Yo no sé si te importa a ti, yo me siento bien desde que nací.
Bien, 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 bien. El tiempo rodeado de cubanos.
Imagínate, man. Yo no sé si te importa a ti, yo me siento bien desde que...
Wow.
Paul&Tonic, Alessio Carbone, we are live. How's it going, man?
I'm in Venice right now.
Uh-huh.
And actually, I'm officially a retired dancer from Paris Opera since 1 month.
Fantastic,
So
Alessio.
I took the decision to take one sabbatical year in Venice, because of course the theater is closed. It's a very difficult situation, and I grew up in Venice when I was kids. So this is why this decision to come back to the origin. So yeah, I'm very happy.
Alessio, you started exactly where I wanted to start. You are a retired dancer. You are a retired star. How was this transition, Alessio? How does it feel? What is the sense after you retire? Before you retire, let's think about a couple months before, then the fact itself, and then a couple months later. Tell me the whole process of retirement. How did you feel about this?
You know, it's funny that you ask me this, because exactly 2 weeks ago, I give back the key of my dressing room in Paris Opera. And actually, you know, my last show was last November, and
Yes.
then I was in Paris Opera studying for management, all the process to organize some show, and so in a way, I was already off from the stage, but I had my dressing room, I had my friends around, I have this energy that Paris Opera give you, even
Of course.
if you not realize this.
Of course.
And actually, 2 weeks ago, of course, they asked me, "Can you give us back your dressing room because some new guy will arrive?" And I said, "Of course, of course." So I took 2 days. Fortunately, it was a weekend, so I was alone in the theater. I mean, not alone, but without dancers around. And I was in this moment to touch every single thing from my dressing room and packing or putting in some garbage. And this moment was I was really surprised, because I'm ready to go. I'm already out, and I'm happy because I did 22 years in Paris Opera. So it's amazing, and it's really time to stop, you know, because the level of Paris Opera go really high with the technique. So it's good. It's the moment. It was the moment. But you know, to give back the dressing room when I was, I had a lot of memories, souvenir in this place, and especially all the moment before the shows, all the moment very with the tension, with the when you feel nervous and you tell to yourself, I will be okay, or I will be not enough ready. So this moment to give back the key was really for me the moment when I realized finally that it was the end, actually, or the beginning, you know, but maybe both. But I was very happy to do it, because I'm happy to move on. But I was feeling a lot of nostalgia, and some sadness mixed with the happiness. And so, yeah, it was really 2 weeks ago, and it's really fresh. And I'm, I feel really, of course, grateful, because Paris Opera gave me a lot. And it was not only the teacher and the good shows. It was really this energy that you cannot really describe. It's really that what you are living every day, going there, taking your class, rehearsing, and also especially laughing with your colleagues and sharing all these moments, not necessarily beautiful moments, some hard moment also. But all this, it's in a balance, it's very heavy, you know, when you have to say, okay, it's enough.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
anymore for me. So it's very delicate, honestly, I feel really grateful, but also I can feel now what a lot of people says. You have to prepare this moment, because
Yeah,
otherwise you don't have any more the floor under your feet,
exactly. Exactly. Especially
so yeah.
especially in an institution like Paris Opera, Alessio, which is a very not only a very traditional institution, of hundreds of years, of immense figures, Nureyev, Manuel Legris, Aurélie Dupont, Alessio Carbone, big stars. Not only that, but Paris Opera has this strength. It is like a very strong state
Yeah,
that, in many ways, more than many other companies in the world, in many ways governs your life.
it's true, Paul, because I I I told you it's not only the teacher and not only the colleagues in this theater. The wall have memories. I mean, the
Mhm.
floor.
Mhm.
It's really strong to be a part of this big group, and it's
Yeah.
really hard to have your place also. I mean, I spent a few years to really to understand how express myself in this company, because I was studying in La Scala, which is a Russian school, and I when I arrived in Paris Opera, of course I was young, but my base was different to them. So it was really hard to tell to myself, okay, it was the good decision or not, because I have to
Mhm.
change my work. And
Mhm.
of course the French school, it's 300 years of story, so it's Louis 14. And now when I arrived there 22 years ago, I was thinking, wow, I'm not only in an international company where I can show my school. It's really a big tradition,
Right.
and the Paris Opera, I think, show this with the big défilé. Every year the big
Yeah.
défilé in the opening night. It's the moment where you can see the school, the company, 150 dancers, and you can really feel a part of a big process, a big project actually. And
Mhm.
the only thing, you just I was taking off my name from my dressing room, and I have this feeling to say to myself, you just pass, in this dressing room, in this
Yeah.
theater, and
Yes.
you were giving your energy, and now your energy is a part of this theater also. And the big question is where I can find another big energy like this, So my decision to come here in Venice at the moment, it was really thinking about I need some beautiful thing around me. I need
Mhm.
arts, I need culture, and here wherever I put my eyes, I see beautiful thing, and this gives me some inspiration, and to maybe continue a little bit to dance, maybe 1 or 2 years more, and to stay in shape a little bit. But of course,
Mhm.
also to try to find how I can pass my luggage. How I can help some young dancers, or maybe some young companies to build some nice project or organize some shows. So this moment, it's really delicate for a dancer.
Alessio, if you had to tell me your feeling in this moment, are you sad? Are you nostalgic? Are you satisfied? Are you relieved?
It's I have to talk about the COVID, because
Hmm.
if the COVID was not there, and if I can see from my departure from Paris Opera that shows go on, and like the machine move on, maybe I feel a little bit sad and nostalgic. But at the moment, uh, I see that it's really hard for the theater, for the culture, for the young dancers, and to to stay in shape, to express themselves. So in this particular moment, I share the difficult feeling about dance. So I'm not realizing yet that that I'm not on stage with them because there is no shows. so
Right.
so it's a little bit hard to say, but in a way I'm very happy to tell to myself that I did it, and I was until the end 42 years old. I was trying to be in shape, and I was really lucky that the 3 last shows that I did, it was a new ballet from Mazzek, Crystal Pike, and Alessio Silvestrini in Paris Opera. And when I was thinking about the end, you think that maybe you will do not a very hard role, not a really hard part in some ballet. And I was lucky because these 3 different choreographers with these 3 different style give me the chance to until the end to try to do more and more, and not to just sit in your chair and say, okay, I'm done, I'm just do some like walking on stage. And
Right.
so I was really dancing until the end, and I feel really lucky for this. So this is
You
why
dance,
now I feel
you
also
dance Crystal
happy to
Pike?
stop. Yeah, my last show was with the Crystal Pite, the new ballet that she did in last October. And
Yeah.
actually it was more or less the last show, the last season that they did, because after the 23rd of November, the last show of Crystal Pite, a big strikes starts. And then they did some Giselle in February and some balancing program, but few shows because then suddenly coming the virus. So
Yeah.
I was really lucky to say au revoir to the public, because a lot of dancers couldn't do it
Yeah.
because the COVID arrived and they closed the theater. And I feel there is some nostalgic moment, because we are a lot of dancers. So you take all the energy also from your colleagues, and
Yeah.
but I prepare this moment a little bit. Since few years I organize shows. I have this group called Les Italiens de l'Opéra, and 10 dancers from Paris Opera, all Italian original. And we are doing a lot of shows around the world, and I feel really happy about this. We were in Taormina end of August, and so I have a project already there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this give me the chance to still to feel this energy. Actually, I think we are talking exactly about this. There is an energy in a theater, and this energy, you cannot replace this energy with something else.
Exactly.
You can put maybe some other very nice moment in your life, but the energy of the theater when you're a dancer, it's not possible to replace. So
I
you
agree.
can feel this energy also when you organize a show, and you know this. And but maybe in another way, you are happy when you see this vibrazione, really
Yeah.
this feeling. And so this is really unique for me in the world of the theater.
Yeah, again, especially in Paris Opera, being such an immense house, such a traditional house. At least when I am in Paris Opera, and I walk around, when I go to stage, you feel this energy, as you mentioned, that you cannot feel in so many opera houses. Maybe in Russia, maybe in Mariinsky or Bolshoi, you feel something similar. But Paris Opera has this very strong spirit that
Yeah.
floods everything. So my next question is, Alessio, Paris Opera began Louis XIV. Today we are in Macron time. How have you seen the difference of style, of work, of atmosphere? Of course, we remember Paris Opera maybe from Nureyev until now. But what have been the changes, do you think, in the opera and in the ballet that you have experienced?
I think right now the big company start to be more and more contemporary, because I think there is this I don't know exactly how you can say this, but people think that the big repertoire, the big classical ballet are now too old to show, and we have to replace this with the new version. I agree in a way that we have to show Swan Lake probably with a new I don't know, for example, Malakoff after Petit Pas. You know, you take the base and you do a little new choreography. But to say to the public that it's enough. We have to stop with Swan Lake. We have to stop with Sleeping Beauty, with Nutcracker. I'm not agree at all with this. I think there is a masterpiece of the music and a masterpiece of choreography, and we need to keep this alive. I don't know exactly how, but probably doing some new choreography, new costume, some new effects probably. But the base should we have to go on with this tradition. We cannot put this tradition in the garbage. And for me, really personally, for me, now we are opening this big company to some really hard contemporary. And in a way, I want to say, okay, why not? In a moment of the season, you can put some really hard contemporary, but in another moment, you have to keep the tradition alive. Because if Paris Opera, Bolshoi, Covent Garden, Mariskin, ABT, I don't know, if this big company stop to do it, who have to do it? Because in this big company, we are supposed to have the best dancers in the world. I mean, the best dancer in academic position, you know, because you have, of course, the beautiful dancer in some other companies. But when you are in the big company like Paris Opera, you are supposed to have in your legs the base of an academic school. So I think this is the change. Probably Louis XIV says that the virtuosity never have to take the place of the elegance. So for me, the role of the classical ballet and the classical big company, it's the poetry. It's to inspire public. And of course, in another way, some contemporary ballet can give some other thing. Could give some also poetry, of course, and the elegance, but maybe can give you some aggressive moment, which is good because the public can need to have a lot of different emotion. But we have to be careful about this, I think, to be the, I don't know if you can say this in English, to be the garant of a tradition.
Exactly,
and I really feel that this is fragile in this moment, because the contemporary, as I told you, it's the more and more difficult. And for a classical dancer, it's difficult to destroy a little bit the base, to do some very difficult contemporary, and then to be back. This is why there is a lot of injury in the theater, because we have to do both, and it's really difficult to manage this with your body, because the class in the morning is classical. If you do whatever you do after as a rehearsal, your base still be classical. So yeah, this is my feeling, and I'm not too worried, but if I can say something about this, it will be this: to be careful about the big tradition that the old big choreographer give us, you know, and we have to keep it.
Yeah, we have to save Petit Pas, that's for sure. I mean, in every art form, you know, there is tradition that produces classics. And I think the classics must be learned how to be represented in a fresher way. You know that in literature, for example, all of these big classics, for example, Les Miserables from Victor Hugo, or some of the big Russian big novels like Crime and Punishment, or some Tolstoy works, they are being re-edited in a new form. Maybe all of these long descriptions that Victor Hugo used to make are now cut a bit so that the younger generation can read Victor Hugo but not get bored with Victor Hugo. The same with Dostoevsky or Tolstoy.
Yeah,
And maybe this is something that can be done with the ballet big classics. Again, not eliminated, but re-presented to a younger audience.
absolutely, absolutely. It's really important because this tradition give us the possibility to be how we are now.
Exactly.
So we need this, and we need to be grateful for this. And it's not just this. This tradition arrived until now, until today, is not by chance. It's because
Exactly.
there is a really strong story, and so I think, yeah, we need to, in a way, to protect, and of course, in the same way, to open to completely new project, some crazy choreographer. We need to be open because there is no barrier. I don't want to say that we have to stay in a square. It's big companies today open to the most crazy project, and I think it's very good to go in this direction.
I agree.
And so there is a balance.
Yes, but now there's something interesting also, Alessio, that I think that it is very important to create these crazy projects. And I know that these crazy projects also become classics in time. Let's remember when Matsek was hired in Paris Opera to do Apartment. It was at the time a very crazy project, but today Apartment is a classic piece of dance.
Absolutely.
You know,
It's true. It's true.
And at the same time, that's one aspect. But on the other aspect, still in every big company in the world, the pieces that sell the most are the big classics.
Of course, it's the public. When you see the title Swan Lake, Sleeping
Right.
Beauty, Romeo and Juliet, they go to see, and
Exactly.
this public need to be also educated to see new projects. So
Exactly.
this is why a company, a big company, a small company, need to understand what the public need to see. And for me at the moment, after this 6 months lockdown, it's really like public need to go to the theater, need to be inspired. And for me, especially now, we need to see love, poetry. We need to be in contact again with this alchemy that put everybody together, in the same energy. And now I don't know where we're going, because the moment is very fragile. But I really hope that we can still have the theater opening, even with one place sell and one no. But I really hope that they will not close the theater, because culture need to be there, and people need to see some beautiful ballet, and dancers need to express themselves. And
I agree.
I really cross my finger for this.
I agree. Alessio, you have been a big ballet star. You have been a producer. You are directing your own company at the moment. But I know that also in your plans, you would like to be artistic director of a big company in the world. La Scala is always a possibility. I'm sure that Berlin, I'm sure that maybe Paris might be also a possibility in the future. We never know. But let's put yourself in a hypothetical situation. In a few more years, Alessio Carbone is elected director of Paris Opera. What are your next steps?
yeah, it's funny because I start to have this ambition, because we can talk about ambition, when I have this idea of my small group. I mean, small, we are 10 dancers and few musicians sometimes. And I start to feel what was to organize a show, and what was the feeling to have an idea of a show and to take the dancers with you and put them on stage and prepare
Yeah.
them, to give them the possibility to express themselves better than they can. So
Yes.
thinking about what is good for them, which studio, which teacher, which coach, which floor, which I don't know, physio,
I know the feeling very
which,
well,
you know,
Alessio.
it's with like when you come back from big holidays of from summer, what you can dance, do it, it will be a big repertoire of classical or a neoclassical or a contemporary, to give, I don't know, this, all these question. I was really thinking about this, and it was very interesting for me to I did some meeting to propose myself,
Hmm.
and they asked me to propose a season, and it was very interesting for me to put in a paper some idea. And it was not, I was curious to see, I don't know, for example, how old is Sleeping Beauty. So I don't know, 2020 it will be some birthday of some composer or some teacher probably, and to give the chance also to the dancers and to the public to share the story of dance, not only a beautiful ballet, and to
Right.
try to explain them why we choose Nutcracker in Christmas time, why all the company does this. So, and try to go, yeah, to go deep in this direction. And so honestly, I don't know what about the future. When I saw that my group of Italians from Paris Opera was limited by the planning of Paris Opera, because they are not free, they are free only
Right.
the weekend, and I tried to do some new choreography. And of course we have to rehearse in the pause, you know, in the weekend. So, and in this moment I was really feeling that the best solution, it will be to have a proper company and to try to grow up a project. And in a way, it's also that you know, my father was directing a lot of company, La Scala, Rome, also opera in Bonn. And so I grew up uh, looking my father directing big theater,
Yeah.
looking my mother teaching, because she was a prima ballerina also. And you know, my sister is also in ballerina in La Scala. So for me, dance, it's just like like eating pasta. For me, I cannot imagine a life without this feeling, this energy. So, and I continue to ask to my father advice when I was dancing some role, when I have to take some decision for a gala. I sent him the program before. We talk about the you know, the all
The
the
order.
this,
Yeah.
yeah. So in I'm in the world of dance since I was born. So um, what I can, if I don't know, if I have the chance one day to have a big company with me, I mean, to express, I can say that I just saw my father when he was director going first in the morning in the theater and going out the last one.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this is for me a mission. When you have the responsibility to have a company with you, it's the responsibility to grow up this company, and it's a chance also, of course, but it's really a responsibility, not only a chance.
Yes.
So for me, you have this mission for 3 years, 6 years, and you know that in this moment, during this time, there is some sacrifice that you have to do. So
Huge.
probably the I don't know, your life change. It's not like before. You cannot say to yourself, okay, but I want to go in my weekend to have party, and of course you can do it, but first you have this responsibility to accompagnare. How do you say in English?
To accompany.
Accompagner. Yeah, to take with you and go
Right.
yeah, like a child. You have
Yes.
you have this. So what I can say that for sure I will be 100% with the dancers, and if I would like to have this project, if it's because I love this world, and I know that I could help some young company or big company, and yeah, I don't know if I will direct one day some company. I hope, but and I don't know if I will be good in this place, but for sure I will dedicate myself 100%. And as I told you, I grow up in this world, and it's for me it's a normal consequence of this, you know, that
Yes.
I will slowly by slowly stop to dance, and I completely give my energy to this project to have one day a company. So yeah, we will see.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when you want to be successful, when you want to do a good job, I think that whatever endeavor you take, it's like having children. You know,
It's true.
direct company is like having, you know, depends on the size of the company, but you know, with your own company, it's like having 10 children. Directing a company like Paris Opera is like having 100 children. And this is the only way to, I think, to succeed in whatever you do. In my case, whenever I do shows, and you have seen me, it is from 6 in the morning to 12 at night, completely dedicated to what I'm doing, to the
Of
needs
course.
of all of my dancers, to the needs of the production, to the needs of the management. This is the only way things succeed. You know,
Yeah.
Alessio, when I was a kid, I remember I taught English when I was a young kid, and I would teach at night. My shift was between 6 in the afternoon until 10 at night. And the English school where I taught was a big building and that had many different offices. And I was a kid, so I would ride my bike and I would park it in the parkings of the other offices. I would put my bike. And every time I came out at 10 at night, of
Mhm.
course, all of the cars had left, but the only cars that remained were the Mercedeses, the BMWs, the Maseratis. You know,
Wow.
what does this tell you? That the people who are successful are the ones who work the most and the ones who stay until 10 p.m. at night.
Of course, and of course also at you say you finish at midnight 1 minute, you need to have a cocktail, because it's of course for your health. After all this big work, we can feel that we deserve a nice red wine, and to enjoy life, and it's absolutely necessary, as you know, and we did a lot of time after the show. We need to have this moment when you know you just say okay to yourself, okay, I did it well, or maybe not very well, but now there is also the moment of relax, and because a lot of young dancers from the school, they are really like very focused on the career, and
Yes.
honestly it's really important to also be focused also in life, you know, in some I mean in the other part of um, yeah, you know what I mean. It's really important to embrace everything, not only the world of dance, because you can learn maybe something from a discotheque one night. You know, there is some dancer dancing close to you, and suddenly you say, oh wow, she's moving, or he's moving very well. Maybe I can do this tomorrow at my class. I don't know. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
learn, of course, from also from a bar, having a chat with some people that you don't know. So I really think that the world of dance, I mean, the people working in the world of dance need to be also opening to the world. And I say this because I remember me in the school, and I was really thinking about dance, and no time for other thing. And suddenly this world became really small, and it's
Yes.
important to be a normal person.
In my experience, working with Paris Opera has always been very difficult because of this reason.
Yeah,
Most of the dancers in Paris Opera are like this, and they
it's true.
only want to dance, 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 grow in the ranks, become better dancers. Not only that, but this complete respect of the authority of Paris Opera, which is necessary. I am not saying this, but this is one of the reasons why I've always liked working with you, Alessio, because every time I tell you, Alessio, I have a show, you say yes, and then you fix your situation with the opera and you come. And this is something I have always appreciated with you, because with other Paris Opera dancers, I say, I have a show. No, I cannot go. Sorry, I am too busy. And this for me has always been very hard. And my question is, how have you always managed to go to my shows?
Actually, sorry, maybe my connection. Can you hear me well? Because the
Yes, I hear
connection,
you.
my connection was a little bit okay. I was lucky with this, Paul,
Yes.
because Brigitte, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. I hear you, Alessio.
Okay, great. I was lucky because during like 18 years of Brigitte Lefebvre direction, she gave me a lot the possibility to go away,
Yes.
to go dance.
I think we lost Alessio for a moment. Let's see if we can get him back. And okay, Alessio. Sorry.
Sorry, can
Yeah,
you hear
let's go.
me? So actually, I think I was lucky because all my director, Brigitte Lefebvre, Benjamin Millepied, and Aurélie Dupont, let me go easily. And
My question is this: why,
yeah,
Alessio? Why did this happen?
honestly, I will tell you. First, a director always say no. I mean,
Of
not
course.
always, but 99%. Because of
Yes.
course they don't want you will be injured. They don't want you be tired. So I think 95% that the time that I asked a permission, it was no.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, I says okay, I understand. And then the day after I come back and they
Mm-hmm.
says, excuse me, I know that your answer yesterday was no. But really, I think for a dancer, it's really important to share the energy of a stage with some other dancer, international dancers.
Great.
And then when I come back to Paris Opera, I can share this energy with Paris Opera dancer and Paris Opera publics. Okay, it was a little bit negotiation, let's say
I
this.
understand.
But I think when a director see that you are really motivated to do something, half of the time they say yes. And especially sometimes I propose to learn a ballet from a video, saying
Mm-hmm.
I know that I lose 1 day of rehearsal, maybe 2 days of rehearsal, but I will promise that I will learn in the video. So when I will
Yeah.
come back, there is no losing time for the company, And I
Exactly.
did it, and so yeah, and I have a lot of nice souvenir with you, Paul, all around the world, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that we will inscribe some new souvenir, maybe in another way, not me on stage, but yeah, we need to do it, Paul. It's a mission.
It's a mission. It's a mission. Alessio, I wasn't able to go to your farewell party. I wrote you a letter. I sent you pictures as your wife requested.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for me to tell you now live. You have been a very important part of my career. You have been a very good friend. And as you say, we have traveled the world together, from Puerto Rico to Beijing, Shanghai, Paris,
Taipei.
Taipei, different stages, different bars, different people. And it's always been a pleasure being with you, Alessio.
Thank you, Paul. It's the same for me because you are very strong in the theater. I mean, I remember the last tour in China. When there is some problem, we can feel that you are with us, and we can, we can relax and thinking that you are thinking about all the details that we need to be good on stage, and also I can count on you after the show to choose the better bar in the city. This is important too. So
It is very important, Alessio. It is very important. China was very hard, no?
Sorry?
China was very hard.
Yeah, but it was very interesting to
Yeah.
see the public and to take all this train to move from one city to another. So yeah, and with the big Vladimir, it's incredible. Also, such an example. This man to never stop. I mean, to always be in the generosity to give himself on stage and to give himself to us when he was teaching before the show, to give some correction. I mean, yeah, I think it's a mission also for him. He need to be in responsibilities place because he's one of these person who did a big career, but also to have this really instinctively generosity to give to other, because there is a lot of beautiful dancer and beautiful career of dancers, and it's not instinctively that they
Alessio, I don't hear you.
I'm here again.
There.
Yeah, it's not necessary natural to be generous on stage and to be generous to share your energy with dancers for other projects. When you prepare a show. So yeah, we were talking about Vladimir. I think Balodia is one of these big personality like Manuel Legris, Laurent Hilaire, all these big dancers that they are giving them in another way.
Yes, I agree with you. A very important person, very special person, Vladimir Malakov, and he has definitely made a mark in the dance world, not only as a dancer but also as an amazing human being. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Alessio, I leave you to be with your family to enjoy your beautiful house in Venice. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Paul.
And I hope to see you soon, somewhere in the world. Give you a big hug.
Let's go on together, and let's say the show must go on.
The show will go on, Alessio.
Absolutely.
Paul&Tonic with Alessio Carbone. See you later, man. Take care.
Ciao, Paul.
Yo no sé
Ciao,
si
Alessio.
te importa a ti, yo me siento bien desde que nací.
Bien. El tiempo rodeado de cubanos.
Imagínate, man. Yo no sé si te importa a ti, yo me siento bien desde que nací.
Bien. El tiempo rodeado de cubanos.